What's good? What's good? We're up. We're in business. How you guys doing? Welcome to the Beat the Bag wrap-up show. How many guys do we have out there? 5 waiting. It's a slow build. It is a slow build. I'm live, in color, ready to fucking rock. We got 4 people on board. Oh, we just lost one. We just lost one. Well, let's get into this, man. Let's get into our first wrap-up show from the Beat the Bag competition. It was an exciting week 1, man. I took it right in the fucking drink hole. It was a very difficult start for me, but it was good for a lot of people. We had 14 people, 14 guys go 5-0, and only 5. Wow, 5-0, impressive. And how many people do we have in the 1,253. Impressive. We got Robinson Yepes here in the live chat with us. He went 4-1, which was very impressive. Robinson, very impressive. But sadly, he missed his 3 bet units, his best bet. So shit, man. The guy goes 4-1, and I believe he is in 348th place, which is awful, but much better than me. So in week 1, I went 2-3, but I lost my 3-unit bet, and I sit at minus 3.48 units, good for 790th place in week 1. And if you include the zeros and zeros, I am in 966th place. That's fucking awful. Fucking awful. My winners were Baltimore, Cincinnati under, the Vikings minus 3.5 over the Saints. My losers were Oakland, Tennessee over 50, Pittsburgh minus 8 over the Browns, and my 3-unit best bet Rams Colts under 41.5, which was really disappointing. But let's go over some of those games, and let's go over the games that are coming up this week. First off, Baltimore-Cincinnati, the 20-0 game was I did not imagine that they would be that fucking terrible, the Bengals. They look to be the worst team in the division. Zampese, the offensive coordinator, is clearly going to be in the hot seat. He had last year to get his shit together, this year to execute. Hugh Brown made it look much easier than he's making it look. They are in deep, deep trouble. With no offensive line, Dalton just can't toss up passes for AJ. They are in big trouble. I won with the Vikings minus 3.5 over the Saints. I think they're going to be very good. They have a big, big game coming up this week. It'll be very exciting. We'll go over that in a little bit. The Oakland-Tennessee game was interesting. The offense was not as good as I was hoping it would be for the Titans. Mariota will get his shit together. I think the Raiders are a very, very good football team. Top 3, maybe top 5. And then my Pittsburgh minus 8 over the Browns was a bad call. I wanted to see if the Browns had improved in person, and they have. They got a big game versus the Ravens today, which I'm very excited about. This week coming up against the Ravens, which will be very exciting in Baltimore. And the spread keeps changing, but it is minus 7.5 right now. And then my 3-unit bet Rams Colts. I knew the Colts were going to be fucking terrible. I knew they would score in single digits. But I did not think that the Rams would be able to run right over them. And that was very disappointing. 46 points for the Rams. I think they will lose to the Redskins this week. We'll have to see what you guys think about that. We got some guys coming on now. CC 924, 3-1-1 with a push. Oh, yeah, with the Atlanta. Raiders versus Jets this week is going to be ugly. Interesting you say that. I think that the Jets are the worst team in the NFL. They're barely an NFL team. I think the Raiders, the over-under in that game is 44. The Raiders team could put up 44 points themselves. It's going to be just an ugly game, I believe. Let's see what else we got. All right, so we have 14 guys at 5-0, led by USC Philly guy, who is winning the whole thing at 7.05 units. His best bet was the Panthers over the 49ers. Now, I don't know if you guys watched that game, but everything changed when Reuben Foster got hurt 11 minutes in. That defense completely fell apart without him. He has a high ankle sprain. He will be out for weeks. Because of that, I think the 49ers will get fucking torched by the Seahawks this coming week. But that was his best bet. USC Philly guy who is in first place had Carolina over San Fran. He also had mini Philly, Rams, and under for the Baltimore Bengals game. So we have 14 guys at 5-0. Holy Toledo, D. Barton, BWGC out of Lake Las Vegas. We have the Guesser, Knuckle Curve, KVB, Big Daddy QH, who also does really well in our baseball contests. Sindin H, Danzo, Choice, Rudog 24, Gray Area, interesting name. No means no, Gray Area. Slipknot 26, this guy has a lot of respect for music. And Bobby M 2004. I hope some of you guys get on this so we can talk to you guys, because you 14 are 5-0, perfect after round one. Guan White has joined us. What up, Guan? Nice to have you, my man. Mario Martinez Jr. says, I think the Raiders can easily beat the Jets by 10 plus. I'm with you. I'm totally with you, Mario Martinez Jr. I'm with you completely. I think that the Raiders could run up that score real easily. I believe the line right now is 13.5. And at this point, that will definitely be one of my 5 picks this week. I think you're bang on, man. Who else you like, Mario? Let me know who else you like. So we have 14 guys at 5-0. We have 6 guys at 4-0-1. We have Gulum, Omaha, Sobob 99, Lexicon, Kersey, Alec Matt 5. So we have 14 guys at 5-0, 6 guys at 4-0-1, and by far the saddest shit is my boy Robinson Yepes, who had an amazing 4-1 week but lost his best bet. That will be the key to this competition, the 3-point best bet, 3 bet units. That's going to be the situation where you'll have to go 10-6 on those bets to even be close to be in the running. You'll have to have a playoff type record with your best bets to be in the running. And I started off 0-1. But I think we learned a lot in week 1. And let's go over the action that we've got coming up. Let's go over the Thursday night game first. Texans at Bengals. Bengals are 5-point favorites, and the 38 points is the under. I think that game could hit the under. The Bengals looked awful, losing 20-0 to the Ravens. The Texans looked awful, losing 29-7 to the Jags. Let's start with the Bengals. Dalton is being exposed. He's just not able to lob the ball up to AJ. Zampese looks awful. Dalton desperately needed help on offensive line and wasn't given any. Savage is not good enough to be quarterback in the NFL. Now, Deshaun Watson has been called will be the starter this week, but he looked good in garbage time. I don't know. I mean, he'll be better than Savage. They're going to want to play for him. The Texans didn't register a sack. The only team other than the 49ers to do that. The Texans will get after them with that weak offensive line in Cincinnati. This probably won't be one of my top 5, one of my big 5 bets, but I think the Texans will give the Bengals a really tough time. I don't know what. Okay, so Mario Martinez Jr. says that Cincy front line is hot trash. It truly is. I'm just shocked that they did nothing to fix that in the offseason. It's just unbelievable. And Mario's saying that the Texans front line can easily get past that line, and Andy's not going to have any time to target anybody. I'm with you. Texans they did not look good, but man, they're going to be able to walk through that front line. And their defense is not a 0-sack defense. We know they're one of the best defenses in the league. I'm with you, man. I'm with you and the Texans, but I don't think this will be one of my 5. I do think that they're going to have trouble putting points up on the board. 38 is a very low number. Let's move to the next game. The Cardinals, -7.5 at Colts, and the over-under is 44 points. Lions beat up on the Cardinals 35-23, and the Rams destroyed the Colts. Now, I think the Colts are going to be fucking terrible this coming Sunday. I wonder if the Cardinals can put up the 44 points by themselves. I know that it really hurts losing Johnson. He's a great running back and a dual threat. But we'll get a look at Kerwin Williams They just signed Chris Johnson. What better way to give these guys a good look than against this porous defense of the Colts? They look absolutely terrible. I think Indy is going to get destroyed. I like this line at 7.5. I like the Cardinals a lot in this. Arizona's got a great offensive line, and Brissett will be able to scramble for a couple first downs, but the Colts are awful. I feel bad for you, Malik Hooker. You're going to have a tough first season. But, man, I think the Cardinals are in a great spot. I don't know what you guys think. Our boy Joe Everett said to stay away from the Colts. He's been preaching that since the preseason started. He's right, man. Or bet, just fade the Colts every chance you get. That's what Yepis is saying. Let's keep rolling down. We got the Eagles at the Chiefs. Chiefs are 4.5-point favorites. The over-under is 47.5. Eagles looked very good defeating the Redskins, 30-17. And the Chiefs looked very good dismantling the Patriots, 42-27. Let's start with Philly. See what you guys think. Philly's D looked great in the preseason. Played well week 1. You know, they're a good team, and their D is really strong. Now, Kansas City losing Eric Berry really hurts. That is a huge loss. He might be the best safety in the league. Did you see the way he locked down Gronkowski? It's going to be very difficult to overcome the Eric Berry injury. We saw what happened last year when the Seahawks lost Earl Thomas. It's going to be the same type of deal. Tyreek Hill looked absolutely incredible. We got to make sure that KC could be drinking the juice, feeling so good about themselves. I think the Patriots look bad more than the Chiefs look good in that game. It's easy to throw deep when a guy is wide open. Smith wasn't threading the needle. Let's see what you guys say over here. Oh, we're back with the Colts. There's no way the Colts offense is going to move that ball over the Arizona D. Absolutely. The Colts are going to be unbettable this year. It looks like it. I think the Colts are almost as bad as the Jets. I agree. What up, CC924? Nice to see you, man. I agree. Donnie and Big Man on Campus turned Armin into an Eagles believer. You know, they both had some really good calls this year. Big Man was, when everybody was talking about how the Giants were going to be such a great football team, Big Man was telling them to tap their brakes, and he sure looked right. He was the only guy I remember hearing saying the Giants aren't going to be as good as everybody thinks. All right, What Guy Video Game says the Pats couldn't defend anyone once Hightower went out. You're right. The Pats couldn't. But now Belichick looked bad, and he is going to bounce back. You don't expect Belichick to come back and fire at all cylinders. I can't imagine that defense will look that bad going forward. But, yes, they looked awful. Mario Martinez Jr. says, I see the Eagles O holding up against the KC defense. I think so, too. I think, you know, I actually thought the Chiefs would be a little bit bigger favorites in this, and I'm surprised. He says that the Chiefs just got lucky against the weak Patriots defense, and you're right. Who would have thought we'd say that? Who would have thought we would say that? The Patriots were just embarrassed on national TV, and they've had extra time to think about it. I think you're right, and Belichick has had extra time to think about it. Patriots are going to come. Why don't we go into that game right now? So it's Patriots -4 at Saints, and the over-under is 54 points. Now, I kind of like the over in this. I don't know if it'll be one of my 5 picks, but I like a high-scoring game. First off, let's talk about the Saints. They are not as inept as they appeared. They look bad because of the Viking defense. That Viking defense is so good. Drew Brees and Michael Thomas will be just fine. Their D needed to be addressed in the offseason, and it wasn't. But Belichick will be pissed off and bounce back. The Patriots are not all of a sudden a bad football team. They were exposed by Tyreek Hill and Alex Smith. Will it continue to happen? I don't think so. What do you guys think? Patriots, Saints, let's see what you guys think. Mario Martinez Jr. says the Patriots, we're just embarrassed. Jason Bernard comes in and says, can't ever really bet against the Pats. I don't know. Robinson Yepis says there was a rumor that Gronk is not at 100%. Has it been confirmed? He certainly didn't look like he was at 100%, but then he was just getting locked down by Eric Berry. What Guy Video Game says, Saints are like the Reds of football. Lots of offense, but they're awful at everything else. Same story every year. I think you're right to an extent. I think their defense is better than it was last year. But yeah, Saints do not look good. Zach likes the Pats. Zach Jones coming in saying Pats. I think so too. I think when it comes down to it, the Pats will pull this game out. Will they cover? I don't know. Gronk looked old. Gronk's body's just beating the shit. But he had Eric Berry on him the whole time, man. And that's a very, very tough situation for him. My boy CC924 says, I'm all over the Pats. I think that's a good call. Zach likes the Pats to come back. I get it. Mario says the Pats just got exposed. But no, just kind of looked lost against – but New Orleans just kind of looked lost against the Vikes on Monday night. I really think that's the Vikes. I really think that defense is awesome. They got 5 Pro Bowlers all in the prime of their career on that defense. The only good thing I've done in the last little while was hammer the Vikings. All right. Let's see. All right, we got South Bay Rider. What up? We got Armin in the house. What up, man? Nice to have you guys. All right. Let's keep fucking rolling. So I think most of us like the Patriots over the Saints in this situation. I like the Patriots to win this game. I will be making that bet most likely. Covering the 4 points is something I will probably do. I don't think it'll be one of my 5. I like them to go over 54 points. I wonder what you guys think about that. All right, we got some talk back to the Vikings. If Sam Bradford threw for 3 TDs and over 300 yards, imagine what Brady will do. Yeah, I think that's a good point, man. I think that is a good point. South Bay Rider says Saints look like shit. Jason Bernard says one of the 5-0 clubs. So good week indeed. Is that you, Jason? Were you in the 5-0 club, my man? Let's get back to that. What's your handle? What is your handle, homie? Which guy are you? If you're in the 5-0 club, man. Let's see who you are. Let's go over your picks, man. Oh, all right, Jawan, what up, man? Horse racing fan, that's great, man. We got the Breeders' Cup coming up. We'll talk about that a lot. Okay, what guy video game says the spread is up to 7 already? I feel you. Let's see what it is. I mean, we're doing in the Beat the Bag contest, we're going to go by our spreads. Oh, shit, it's up to 6.5. What the fuck am I talking about? It's a big spread. That's a big spread. I don't know, man. Okay, we got Jason Bernard, man. The gray area. Nice work, pal. Fucking 5-0, man. Let's see who you had in that first week. Gray area, man. Impressive. 5-0. Let's get this shit up. Gray area. Nice work, man. 5-0. All right, right here. All right, let's see how you made us look so bad. All right, you had Philly as your best bet. Good capping, man. They looked really good. You had Baltimore plus 2.5. I don't know why the fuck I didn't do that. I took the under. Good bet. Chicago plus 6.5. Another good bet. All the sharps had that. Chicago looked very good in the preseason. Their defense is very strong. And then Chicago shut down the Titans in, I think, the 3rd week of the preseason. Shut down that first-string offense for a whole half. Shut them out. Then he had the Buffalo -7 over the Jets. Well done. And Detroit plus 2.5. Much love, man. Impressive shit, Jason Bernard. Impressive shit, man. 5-0. Looking good. Fuck, man. You are beating the bag badly. Fucking. Oh, Thor Marino. What up, man? Nice to have you, pal. Oh, man. Thor Marino is a great capper. Nice to have him running with us. Speaking of capping, and I know this is a football show, but I called the Braves to upset the Nats. They're up 5-0 right now, and I feel pretty fucking good about myself. And I got Pittsburgh as another road dog. They're up 2-1. Let's get that cash. All right. But yeah, Bernard, that was very impressive shit, 5-0. Can we have you come in and let me know what your plans are for this week? I mean, you don't need to, tell us your top 5 picks or anything, but as I go through, you had a fucking monster week, my man. All right, so let's go back to that next game. So where were we? We were at we just did Patriots at Saints. Now Vikings at Steelers, -6, 45.5. This is a great spot. let's before we hammer this Vikings at Steelers, come in and let me know what you guys think of the Vikings at Steelers. Let's see what Domo has to say here. He says, I like the Bears. Their front seven is very underrated. Their front seven is fucking awesome. They have such a bright future. I'm with you on this totally. Young, McPhee, Trevathan. I think the Bears are in a letdown spot this week after going all in week one and coming up short. You know, that's interesting. The Bears and Buccaneers. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do Bears and Buccaneers right now because Tomo's on it. We'll do Bears and Buccaneers, and then afterwards, we'll hit the Vikings and Steelers game. So Bears and Buccaneers is going to be a very difficult game to cap properly because we haven't seen the Bucs. We haven't seen them. And I think they're going to be fucking nasty. But it's clear the Bears are much improved. Their running game is tough. Their front seven is nasty. They have a very nasty defense shaping up. Their wide receivers are fucking awful. Their wide receivers are so bad. All you'll do all game against them is put 8 in the box. It's a very, very tough spot. Robinson says no play on the Vikes Steelers game. Thomo says, I think it's tough to lay 7. I would have bet Tampa at 5.5. Tough to bet at 7 in his opinion. I think you're right. I'm concerned. I really want to watch the Bucs play before I start losing money on them. I really want to watch them play. So I think you're right. I think this is a good stay away situation. This is a good spot to watch the Bucs. And but the Bears really are impressive. Okay, why don't we hit this Vikings-Steelers game? This is so exciting, man. I'm so excited about this matchup. Oh, we got a little more from my boy Robinson. He says the Bucs wasn't that impressive during preseason. They weren't. It was preseason, but they still averaged 10 points a game. You know, I don't care that much that their offense wasn't flying. I don't care that much. I think they're going to be a really good football team this year. Mario Martinez Jr. says, I'm on the Bears, but with all those key injuries, I don't know if I can take the Bears to cover. I feel you, man. I'm going to watch that game too. I'm very excited to watch it. But yeah, that rookie running back from Chicago was impressive. Man, their running game looks really tough. All right, let's go Vikings-Steelers. I'm really excited about this game. This line has been changing. It's -6 right now, 45.5 points over under. Vikings looked really good, beating up the Saints. Steelers did not look so good, barely getting by the Browns. Start with the Vikes. Dalvin Cook, Thielen, and Bradford looked fucking awesome. We just talked about their 5 Pro Bowlers on D that are all in their prime. The Steelers had trouble with the Browns. You have to like the Vikings to cover this game. Everybody talks shit about Bradford nonstop. He broke the completion percentage record last year. I think this is a great spot for the Vikes. I'm not 100% sure if it'll be in my 5, but I think this is a great spot for the Vikes. Let's see what you guys think. All right. CC924, my man, says Bradford will throw all over that Pittsburgh D. I like Minnesota. I do too. Thomo says, I have found the Steelers are a great bet at home in big games like home opener. Tomlin's teams always seem to play to the level of competition, but play well in spots like this. Saints defense sucks, in my opinion. I think there's truth in everything you were saying there, Thomo. Truth in everything that you were saying. No question about it. I like this Vikes getting this many points. I like them. But I hear what you're saying. Let's see. White Guy Video Game says, I can't bet against Big Ben at home. I like this Vikings team, but Big Ben is too good at home. I feel you, man. I feel you. Armin says the Bears had Atlanta. They did. Mario says, I think Bell will be more of a factor this week. I think Pittsburgh will cover. Fuck, man. I don't know, man. Armin loves this old 70s rivalry, Vikings-Steelers. Robinson says Pitt needs more splash plays. I'm telling you, man, I like the Vikings in this situation. I don't think it's one of my top 5 picks right now, but it could very well be as I continue to study. Now, you don't want to get too caught up in what you've just seen in week 1 of the season. You don't want to make that mistake. I mean, it's week 1 and teams are going to figure themselves out. I have a bad recency bias in my gambling, and I've been trying to shake it off for fucking years. I just saw the Vikings dismantle a Saints team that is not that good, and I can't let that fuck me up too much because right now I think they're going to go into Pittsburgh and cover, and I'm gonna have to study that more. And you know what? I might even rewatch both the Steelers game and the Vikings game, get a better handle on it. Thomo, my man, I hear you, Jimmy. Vikings offensive line did look good, and they replaced a lot of players. Steelers secondary was bad last year. The secondary has improved this year, but we didn't get to see it. Browns aren't going to fucking stretch anybody's defense. Mario says TJ Watt was looking like a beast. He was. All right, Mario. Pittsburgh's easily going to cover. I respect him, man. It's going to be a very exciting game. Let's move on to the Bills at Panthers. 42.5 points. First off, I like the over. I like the over a lot. I am actually, you know what? I like the over, but I don't think it'll be one of my top 5 plays. But I think there's a lot to figure out here. The Bills beat the worst team in the NFL. All they have is Shady McCoy. They have no other weapons. Now going to the Panthers team. Are the Panthers good or are the 49ers awful? The Niners went 0 for 4 on 4th downs. They were clearly a different team when Reuben Foster got hurt. So I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. Are the Panthers good or are the 49ers awful? Bills at Panthers -7. It's going to be a tough game, man. I wonder what you guys think. So we got Bills at Panthers -7. This is not going to be one of my 5. Thomo says, I think it's scary the Bills struggled as much offensively as they did at home against the Jets. I agree 100% with your take. The Bills are all about the running game. Carolina's front 7 is tough. I think you're right. You know, it's funny because I wrote down that I like the over at 42.5, and then I stopped myself immediately. I just don't know how the Bills are going to put up points. And the Panthers' offense was doing nothing on the 49ers until Reuben got hurt. Robinson, 49ers have been awful for a minute. Thomo says, I think Cam will be better at home in the second game. Got very few reps in preseason because of surgery. That's a good call. White Guy Video Game says, Bills are trash. Jets are just worse trash. I think the Panthers win by 7 or more. Yeah, I feel you, man. I think that's a possibility. But then, so answer me this, man. Are the Panthers good or are the 49ers awful? Mario says Carolina's offense is kind of shaky. I don't know if Cam is 100%. You know, I don't trust this Panthers team in the long run this year, but I'm really looking forward to watch McCaffrey all season. All right, let's move on. Feel free to keep adding into any game you'd like. And we definitely want to hear Gray Area 5-0 come in on some of this shit, man, because you had a monster week 1. All right, so we got Titans, 1.5-point favorites at the Jaguars. Over-under is 43 points. I like the over here. I don't know if I'm going to hammer it. Raiders beat the Titans 26-16. Jags beat the Texans 29-7. This is a really interesting game. The Titans lost to a very good Raiders team. Sometimes early in the year, you can simplify these matchups, just who's the best quarterback, and Mariota is much better than Bortles. Now, the Jags had a good defense last year, an underrated defense, and it got better. Calais Campbell is a fucking monster, and Fournette is the real deal as a running back. But the Texans team is fucking terrible. And the Titans had a nice wake-up call against a great team like the Raiders. Let's see. Empire Building says, best way to make money in NFL is to fade certain people on Twitter who are mushes. Okay. Are the Jaguars for real? Blake, Jim Kelly, Bortles. Yeah, I think that the Titans are in a good spot here. The Jaguars are a very tough defensive team. But I think the Titans got a nice wake-up call. I think Mariota and that defense, I mean, we expect Corey Davis to do so much, and he didn't do much. All right, Thomas says, one thing I can't get over, Mariota is not running this year after getting hurt last year. I can't trust Titans offense against Jaguars defense, in my opinion. Titans secondary is horrible. It was noticeable that Mariota wasn't running much. That was noticeable, and that's a good call. Mario Martinez Jr. says that Mariota has mobility. No way that Jacksonville will get them like they did Texans last week. Yeah, that's clear. That's clear. I think the Titans got a great wake-up call against the Raiders, and they're going to come hard. They're going to come at them, man. You guys hit the fucking let's get some likes on this shit, man. Let's get some likes, and thank you for your comments, man. Let's keep rolling. All right, Browns. Oh, nice jersey here. What up, Stephen Lewis? Titan. Okay, the White Guy Video Game says Titans have a solid offensive line. Jacksonville has great D, but the 10 sacks were the result of Houston's offensive line. Yes, I think that is a very good call. I think the Titans' offensive line is so much better than what the Texans just delivered. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough spot. This is a tough game. That's why it's a pick 'em. Duckhead is in the business, man. Nice to have you, Duckhead. Nice to have all you guys, man. This is great. All right, so the Titans, Jags is a tough one. It's a fucking tough one. Calais Campbell party, yeah, man. Denver being only one of this was 3.5. All right, well, let's the Titans Jags is going to be a tough one. I like the over in that. I like the 43 points, but I don't think I will take that as one of my picks. Let's go to Browns at Ravens -7.5. Over under is 40.5 points. This is a tough one. My boy Stephen Lewis says you took a good one on the Braves so far. It's about fucking time I took a good one, man. Baseball's been kicking the shit out of me. But let's focus. Let's focus on the fucking focus on the football right now. But yeah, it feels good. We got a 5-0. My man Jason Bernard's coming in. Tomorrow is when I narrow the field. Down to be able to start helping in any way. All right, my man, you're a systems guy. Dig it. Mario Martinez Jr. says, I see the Titans taking this game. Plus, they are distracted by that hurricane. It's possible. It's possible. All right, my boy Robinson Yepes is in. 4-1 opening week. He says that one of his picks is Cleveland, Baltimore, under 40.5. It's a tough one, man. Well, let's go over it. First off, the line is getting lower. This is a 9-point line in some books right now. So Cleveland loses to a good team. Baltimore beats a bad team. I think the Bengals are the worst team in this division. I think that the line of 9 is just disrespectful to the Browns. I like the Ravens to win, but I think the Browns could cover. Let's see what you guys think. Thomo says, I think the Browns defense is respectable and Ravens defense is for real. The Ravens defense will be, in my opinion, the best defense in the league this year. I think Flacco will need time to come back from his back issue. He likes the under. Well, Robinson and Thomo like the under, man. You guys are great cappers. Thomo says, I do not think you can lay more than a TD with a weak quarterback. He agrees. Bengals O-line sucks. Bengals are just a fucking bad football team. So Thursday night versus the Texans will be really interesting. But they're just a bad fucking football team, man. Browns, Ravens, -7.5. All right, White Guy Video Game says Woodhead being out is also a big loss for Baltimore. His absence leaves a big pass-catching void out of the backfield. Now, we knew Woodhead was going to get hurt. That's all he fucking does is get hurt. He's broken. He's broken like Gronk. No surprise he gets hurt first game. My boy Armin says, I feel crazy, but leaning Browns +9. Wait, 10. That line's going all over the place. He's saying, wait, if it's at 10, he'll jump. Empire Building says Colin Kaepernick should dump his girlfriend so he can get a quarterback position. Yeah, that was fucked up. Ray Lewis saying it was his girlfriend's fault. I find that hard to fucking buy. Obviously, we could talk about the Colin Kaepernick situation for a long time. And we can if you guys want to, because I've got lots of feelings about what's going on there. Mario says the Browns linebackers are good. I think that Cleveland defense is kind of underrated. I agree. Woodhead is like Sam Jackson from the movie Unbreakable. All right. Thomo says Flacco is being much better at home in the regular season. Kaiser might commit some stupid turnovers. You know, it's nice to see an athletic quarterback back there. I know a lot of Browns fans are just thankful to see someone who – I just wish he didn't play another year at Notre Dame, man. Just another year at Notre Dame would have helped. All right, so Browns at Ravens, -7.5. If that line moves up, I'm going to take the Browns. The over-under, we got some really, really good cappers thinking under, and I dig it. I get it. Let's move on to this next game. This will be one of my 5, I think. Now, it's the Jets at the Raiders, -13.5 points. Jets at Raiders, minus 13.5. Oh, we got one last thing. Stephen Lewis says, who's better, Cleveland or Bears now? They're both much improved, but I think the Bears are better. Their defense just looks really strong. Now, we'll see what happens with the Browns when Myles Garrett comes back. We'll see about that. All right, Jets at Raiders, minus 13.5 points. I think the Raiders are going to kick the shit out of the Jets. If this line was 19.5 or 20.5, I would take the Raiders. This will be this could be best bet territory for me. The Raiders are just going to dummy these fucking Jets. So come in. Let me know what you think about the Raiders, Jets. I think the Jets are barely an NFL team. We'll do a couple more notes on that Cleveland game. First off, Thomo thinks that the Cleveland is a better secondary. Bears have a better quarterback. He thinks it's a draw. Mario Martinez Jr. says, I'll take the Browns, plus the Ravens have to travel to London next week, so they might be thinking about that game as well. That's an interesting take. And Armin says, Raiders, 14 on. Yeah, he'll take it. I like White Guy Video Games. Okay, let's go to this Raiders game. I like the Raiders. That line is high to get people to bet on the Jets. I think the Raiders roll. I agree. And then Empire Billion says, fuck it, I'm just going to start blindly betting unders. So many shit offenses now. We see these things ebb and flow. Remember the baseball season, the first half of the year, everything was over, and now it's gone to the unders. Thomo thinks, I think Raiders roll. Agree with you. Raiders' offensive line is strong. Raiders could have beaten the Titans by 20. They took their foot off the gas on the road with a double-digit lead. I feel you with this. I think the Raiders are going to dummy these fucking Jets. And I really like that's why. I also think that this 43 points over is a possibility too. I think that the Raiders could put up, 40 points themselves. I wonder what you guys think. Stephen Lewis wants to get to Green Bay, Atlanta. We'll get there, my man. Okay, so I think the Raiders are just going to dummy this team. This is going to be one of my 5 for sure. Next game, Dolphins at Chargers, minus 4.5 and 45 points. All right. Dolphins at Chargers minus 4.5 and the 45 points overnight. So the Dolphins didn't play. I think Miami is fucked. I want you guys to come in and tell me what you think of this Dolphins Chargers, and we'll finish off the last little bit of notes from you guys on this game. Here we got Thomo Marino says Tyrod Taylor was horrible and the Bills still covered. The Raiders have so many weapons other than Cooper with Cook, Crabtree, Lynch. I'm with you totally. Jason Bernardo, 5-0, says Browns or Bills. Who knows? Always a shocker. Just need to feel it out. Oh, no. Oh, no. Robinson loves the Dolphins. Man, I think you're in dangerous territory. I think Miami's fucked. Landry's good, but Jay Cutler, a guy nobody wanted in the offseason, doesn't train at all and comes in, he's fucked. Miami's fucked. I think the Chargers minus 4.5 will be one of my 5 picks this coming week. I think the Chargers are going to dummy. I just think that they're in a very bad spot with Cutler. Very, very bad spot with Cutler. Okay. Robinson saying it's just a homer pick, not for the contest. I feel you. Domo says, I think the Dolphins defense sucks. Rivers is solid at home. Chargers front 7 is strong. I'm with you. I like the Chargers. I'm with you. Dolphins secondary is trash, Domo says. I'm with you, man. I think the Chargers are going to dummy this team. My boy CC924 says this will be a 44-10 type game. Raiders will be able to name their score. Oh, sorry. That's the Raiders shit. Okay. Sorry. Raiders, Jets. I agree with you. Domo says Rivers goes all in here. No way they can go on 2. I agree. I like this Chargers team. I think they're going to beat up on the Dolphins, and I think they had a nice little wake-up call week 1 against a good Broncos team. All right, let's move on to Cowboys. minus 2 at Broncos. 43 points is the over. Under 43 points. I think this game could go over. Cowboys minus 2. Let's take a look at this. We got a couple more notes on that Chargers game. First game in the new stadium. Yeah, StubHub Center. Oh, I will take the Chargers, but he thinks there's no home field advantage. I get it. Not if Kiko Alonso has something to tell Rivers. Well, you know what, man? The Dolphins just aren't going to have the ball ever. They're just fucking trash. All right, so Cowboys, minus 2 at Broncos. Let me hear what you guys think of this. Now, first off, I don't think the Giants looked awful as much as Eli Manning looked awful. And I don't think the Cowboys D is so good as much as that Giants offense was fucking terrible. I think the Chargers D is just as good as the Cowboys D. I also don't think Prescott is going to have as good a season as he had last year. And Zeke is the only reason they were moving the ball. So the question becomes, can Denver's D stop Zeke? That is the biggest question in this game. And I thought Simeon looked fantastic last night. I don't know about you guys, but I thought he looked really good. All right, let's see this. All right, so I don't know what you guys think. Cowboys -2 at Broncos. It's a tough spot, and I don't think I'm going to use this as one of my 5 games, but I am leaning towards Broncos. So Armin says I can see almost the same game like last night, Chargers-Broncos. I agree. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. I just don't think the Cowboys are as good as they were last year, and that Giants fucking offense was absolutely terrible. Thomo says the Cowboys secondary is garbage. He's right. Carroll and Manning basically threw the towel in right away. He's right. Manning, how can you not fucking exploit that Cowboys secondary? I don't know. Denver's run defense was much better. Agree with McCoy. Denver offense looks better. I like Denver in this game. I don't think it's going to be one of my 5. I'm going to keep studying it, but I like Denver in this game. Empire Building says, come on now, how can you say you aren't impressed by Dak? I'm impressed by Dak as a quarterback, as a man. I just don't think he's going to have as good of a season as he has last year. He's basically just a game control guy. You know, he controls the speed of the game. He doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't take giant risks. I don't see him having nearly as good of a season. CC924 says Prescott hasn't proved he can throw the ball down the field with any accuracy. I agree. He's never looked that good as a passer. He just doesn't make mistakes. And we see how much trash Bradford takes for doing the same shit. It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. All right, next is Redskins at Rams. -2.5. 46 points is the over-under. Bernard's talking baseball. Yeah, man, we're on a football show right now, but I've got 4 parlays. I've got 3 tied to the Braves. Oh, 3 of them tied to the Braves. Braves over Nats. Braves over in the game, 8.5 runs, and Braves alone to get over 3.5. They did that in, the second fucking inning. So I'm feeling pretty good, but it's all tied to Kershaw tonight. We know how they've been doing. But let's focus on football. Mario says, no way Dak is going to pass that ball, but the Broncos suck at guarding tight ends, so Witten is going to have a huge game. It's a good point. Witten is a fucking monster. Thomas says Dak has been much better at home, even though Cowboys were great on the road. Prescott throws to wide-open receivers with an hour to throw. I'm with you. Rams went from -1 to -2.5. Took the Rams as a contest pick. Wow, eh? Took them as a contest pick. Redskins at Rams. You know, I'm not with you, Robinson, my man. I'm not with you. The Rams look good because they were playing the second worst team in the NFL. I think the Skins are simply a better football team than the Rams. The Rams being the favorite is nice. I think the Redskins go in and beat them. Now, oh shit. That means all my fucking Kershaw got ruled out within the last hour with a wrist injury. That's wild. Well, that means all my shit is pushed. Well, that means I'll win some money today at least. Shit. Because I'm looking good. I don't know what that score is, and I don't need to know. We can focus on football. But wow, Kershaw got ruled out. All right, White Guy Video Game says that line is either an overreaction on the Rams or a fade on the Redskins. Redskins were competitive against a solid team, while the Rams beat arguably the worst team in the league. I'm with you totally. I'm with you totally. Blake Kersey says I got the Skins. I'm with you. Thomas says I want nothing to do with the Redskins-Rams game. I mean, that is another interesting point. It's probably not going to be one of my 5. He says, I think Goff sucks, and the Colts roster could be even worse than the Jets. I lean Redskins, but won't bet the game. I think I may put the bet on the Skins in this game. May tie a couple parlays in with them. I think I will. But it won't be one of my 5. It's not one of my 5 favorite bets here. Mario says the Rams just had a blowout victory, and now they have to play a game with another one coming up in 4 days. Yeah? All right, we got the Adrian Holmes says, you think the Patriots game in Atlanta will go over? I think that the Patriots-Saints game is going to go over. I do. And then we haven't got to the Atlanta game yet, but we will get there too soon. Cody says, how do you feel about two-play teasers for NFL? The juice has changed with them, but being able to move the line like that you can be very successful with that. So I think you can be very successful with two-play teasers. My boy Armin says, I like the shirt, Jimmy. That's right, man. The GOAT, Pryor. The fucking GOAT, man. Maybe over 5,000 people will actually show up for the Rams game now. That was hilarious seeing nobody there. Fucking hilarious. Rams skins play regularly the last couple seasons. Pretty sure skins have the edge last 3 seasons. That's what Blake's saying. I like the skins in this matchup. The more we talk about it, the more I like them. Armin says, cheetah, what I said. Thomo says the Redskins defense did get good pressure on Wentz, and they replaced a lot of guys on defense. Sorry, that's a yeah. I do think the Rams defense is solid. Yeah, I think they're solid. They sure look like they didn't need Donald, which was very impressive. I really like the skins in this matchup. The more and more we're talking about it. Robinson says a lot of Rams fans popping up in Whittier, California. All right. So let's move on. This is another game that I like a lot. At this point, this will definitely be one of my 5. Is the 49ers at Seahawks minus 13.5 points. Now, I've mentioned it over and over today. What happened to the Niners as soon as Reuben Foster got hurt? They were fucked. He's got a high ankle sprain. He's going to be out for a few weeks. The Seahawks will fucking destroy the 49ers. Now, I know my family's from San Francisco. I'm wearing a 49ers hat right now, but I think they're going to get fucking pummeled. I think they will lose by more than 13.5 points, and I would love to hear what you guys think about that. So, in reality, I think the Seahawks destroying the 49ers is extremely likely, and I think the Raiders destroying the Jets is extremely likely. Those are 2 games that I like the most right now. Just beating up on bad teams who have injury issues. I think the Seahawks are going to fucking destroy them. I'd be surprised if the Niners can get more than 3 points. Yeah, Empire asking why they bothered to move the Rams to Los Angeles. It's that fucking idiot. What's his name? Crunky? It's him. He's a fucking idiot, man. He definitely misplayed his hand. But let's go back. So Thoma says Russell Wilson is a completely different quarterback at home. Seahawks should be juiced here. Seahawks offensive line is night and day better at home. I think they're going to destroy these Niners. I think the Packers game was a wake-up call. Now we all realize how good that Packers defense is going to be and how good the Packers are going to be this year. Let's see what Mario says. 49ers are a broken team. No way in hell I'm going to wager on them. I see the Seahawks crushing them easily by 14. I'm with you totally. See, that's where I'm at for Cody's coming in. See, that's where I'm at for Seattle. Two-play teaser with points and spread, making Seattle minus 7.5 and over 37. You know what? In all honesty, when the Seahawks get up a lot, they just start running the ball. They'll bring in, third string running backs. I don't know how much the Seahawks will run up the score. In all honesty, I'm a little concerned about the over, although I think the Seahawks are going to pummel them. So that's what I have to say, Cody. Robinson says Seattle struggles against the Rams. Rams and 49ers are about equal. Yeah, 49ers beat the Rams twice last year. So, it was surprising. The Rams are not a good football team. What we saw against the Colts is not a reasonable – there's no way to believe that's what we're going to see in the future. Mario says Hoyer will have 0 time to throw. The Seattle D is going to kill it. I agree. Thomas says, I will not bet an over when one of the team has Hoyer at quarterback. I could see the game going over, but if I bet an over, I'd bet Seattle's team total over. I think you were exactly right, Thomo. Absolutely right. So I think Thomo said it better than I did, Cody. I'm concerned if the 49ers put up 3 points, are the Seahawks going to put up 40? I can see them putting up 30. In saying that, maybe the under is the play. Maybe. It's not going to be one of my 5, but the Seahawks destroying the 49ers will be one of them. White Guy Video Games. Oh, let's see. Sorry, I missed one. Let's see. Hope you're right with the Raiders have Cooper in one of my big money pools, says Jason Bernard. Man, the Raiders are just a very good football team. I think you're going to enjoy having Cooper. Seattle still can't block anyone. Might pull Wilson late so he does not get killed when they're up by 20. That's a good point. White Guy Video Game, that's a good point. Cody says, fair enough, man. Good info. Thomo said it right. I don't think I said it as good as he did. But, yeah, I'd be concerned, man. I would just be concerned. I'd be concerned that Seattle won't put up 40 points, but they're going to fucking destroy the Niners. Mario says, I like the under. Both teams' offensive lines are hot shit. The more we talk and break this game down, the better that under looks. Cody says it's a total that I won't touch then. I think that, you know what? We'll talk about this next week. We'll see if it was right. We'll strategize about this. I'll talk about it with the betting with the bag stuff every day, and I'd love to have you guys join me. We'll see. I'd be concerned. And then Thomas says, Seattle's O-line was fine at home. 49ers defense line is nothing special. 49ers have great linebackers, but not a lot of talent on the defensive line. Yeah, man. All right, so let's move to this. Oh, what a beauty this game's going to be. Packers at Falcons, -2.5. Now, yes, Matt Ryan is way better in the dome. But how good did that Packers D look? I like the Packers in this matchup. How night and day different is this game than the NFC Finals? Packers have no defense to speak of, and now their defense looks fucking solid. Curious to see what you guys think about this. I like the Packers in this matchup. I don't think it'll be one of my top 5 bets, but it's on the cusp. Let's see what we got. Mario says, I'm going to stay away from this game, but I'll go with Seattle, and they will cover. I'm with you. Are you worried about the Jets' defense against the Raiders? Says Adrian Holmes. No, I'm not. The Raiders are a very good team. Now, the Jets' defense is an improving squad, but no, I am not concerned at all. Armin says Rodgers. Cody says, I take Packers D and Rodgers any day. I agree, man. It's so amazing how fast these things change. I agree. Oh, but Thomo, okay. Thomo, I like Atlanta here. I know it's a revenge game. I disagree with you, Jimmy. I just think Atlanta is opening a new stadium. Packers D look good, but Seahawks on the road makes defense look good often at times. I think you have a great point, Thomo, and you always do. I think you have a great point. Now, I'm not going to make this one of my 5, but I just like the Packers in this spot. Mario says the Falcons are opening up their new stadium, so there could be distractions. And Thomo thinks that the opposite. Robin says I took both under 53.5 and took Green Bay by +2.5. All right. Armin likes the money line. Thomo says I think Atlanta's offense is a different animal in the dome at home. You're absolutely right. We know that. We know they're a totally different animal. But God, the Packers looked really good. And again, I don't want this recency bias to fucking take over everything, but my God, did they look good. All right. So the final game, the Monday nighter, and this is a tough one, man, is the Lions at Giants. Giants are 3.5-point favorites, 43.5 points. Let's go through it. So the Lions looked really good in their 35-23 victory. Highest paid player in the NFL, Matt Stafford, looked really good. The Lions will have to play that way again before I'm completely sold. This is a nice opportunity for them. As for the Giants, we've already given props to big man on campus for saying all offseason for them to pump their brakes, for the Giants fans to pump their brakes. But Manning looked fucking terrible. He just looked fucking terrible. I don't know what you guys thought of that performance, but it was awful. Giants 3.5-point favorites. Now we know that LBJ is likely to be playing. So I'd like to hear what you guys think about the Lions, Giants, and we'll do a little bit more with that Packers, Falcons. Tomo comes in and says, the one thing that worries me about Green Bay is the offensive line had some issues with Beluga, who was rated top 10 in pass protection, and Lane gone from last year. I feel you. Atlanta's D did look suspect. They did. I feel you. You know what? This is a very tight game. That's why it's a 2.5-point spread. I'll be studying it all week. I just like the Packers in this situation. I like it. All right, so let's talk at this Giants game. So we have White Guy Video Game says the Giants shouldn't be favored at all after week 1. That is why I think the Giants cover. Lions pretty sketchy. Cody's saying, I was thinking the same fucking thing. Lions got off to a hot start, but I need to see more of them before I throw any money on them. Totally. Robinson said, took Lions +4. Something I learned from the film, 2 for the Money, is that people chase on Mondays and weird stuff happens. Yeah, you know what I learned from 2 for the Money is sports gambling movies are fucking garbage and fake and aren't realistic at all. If you like gambling movies, I thought 2 for the Money was fucking terrible. If you guys want to talk gambling movies, I really liked the Brian Reynolds movie that just came out, Mississippi Grind. I really liked Mississippi Grind. It totally bombed at the box office, but check out Mississippi Grind. It's on Netflix, and I really enjoyed it. But let's go back to this. Why do the Giants deserve a favorite? Doesn't make sense. I agree. Empire Building says, Manning played decent in the second half. It's hard when you have no run game. I don't think he played decent in the second half. He was missing people all over the place. Mario says this game is going over. It's 43.5. Tomo says, I bet the Giants. Stafford is 1-26 on the grass. Wow. Interesting. Giants have 2 road games coming up. This is a must-win game for them. I like the Giants here. Manning is a totally different quarterback at home. All good points. 1-26 on the grass against teams with winning records. Jesus. All right, so Mario says Packers-Falcons game is going to go over. Cody says, I don't like the Giants-Lions play, but I would buy that half point for the Giants. If anything, don't trust this play for shit. I feel you. Homeward Bound is the greatest gambling movie ever. All right, man. The only Homeward Bound I know is about the fucking dogs. The dogs are so brave. Wow. You ruined this thread, Mario Martinez Jr. Everything was going so good. Mississippi Grind is a rip of California Split. Is that right? I don't know California Split. Thank you for saying that. I will check that shit out. Vince Thomas has come in saying Pittsburgh week 2. We did go over that shit. It's where are we? Colts, Chiefs, Patriots. Just where the fuck is it? I've lost it. It's that exciting game against the Vikings. What am I talking about? You know what? I really like the Vikes, but a lot of people love the Steelers at home, and we've been going through it all the time. So Pittsburgh week 3. We'll go over that next week, Vincent. All right, so we got a couple things to talk about. So those are all the games. We are almost up in an hour, so let's finish this off. I don't know if you guys do want to talk about Colin Kaepernick for a bit. It's probably the biggest story in the NFL this year, maybe the biggest story in sport. Kaepernick is such a strange guy. He makes this important movement, a very important movement for America. And then he does things that I just can't understand. When he says that he's not voting in the election, that there's no difference between Clinton and Trump, it's such a stupid thing to say, I think. It's such an ignorant thing to say. You have so many people looking up to you, and then you say that there's no point voting in the election. He's a very strange guy. And he's not known as the smartest guy that there is. Colin Kaepernick not being on the team should have nothing to do with his taking the knee. It just plain sucks. I agree totally. We're just talking about Kaepernick as a guy right now. Colin Kaepernick should be on an NFL team. He should be helping the NFL team. You telling me that the Colts wouldn't have looked better with Kaepernick at the helm? It's absolutely fucking ridiculous that he doesn't have a job. It's ridiculous. And we could talk about Kaepernick for hours. I'm very interested to see what you guys have to say. Marcus Wright says, fucking hell, you think voting matter? You know, Marcus, I just think that it was a strange move to make when he has every single person, or not every, so many people looking up to him that he doesn't want to vote in the election. Man, I get it. Thomo says, I think the issue with Kaepernick is when you are the QB, you are the face of the team. I think the main reason he has no job is he just isn't consistent as a pocket passer. You know what? He's more consistent than Tolzien. I understand he's not great in the pocket, but we've seen him do magical things on the field, and he's got a ton of potential. Thomo says, I agree with you. He just doesn't articulate his message. I agree he's better than many QBs. There's no question that Kaepernick has the skills. There's no question that that you can legitimately hate the NFL for how they've treated him, because it's bullshit. He should be playing. But the way he delivered the message at times got confusing. And I respect the message, and I respect Kaepernick, and I wish he was playing. All right. And you know what? In all honesty, Marcus, I hear you. And the voting thing should be a small thing, but I felt it was strange when there was such a big difference between Trump and Clinton that he still said it doesn't matter who's president. And what I'm saying, I'm not drinking my own juice, man. I'm not saying I know the answers to all this shit. I'm just telling you some of the things I feel and some of the things, man. So, but I mean, and I feel that you can dislike what I'm saying. It's all good, man. Kaepernick ruined Jaguar. All right, man. I feel you. We have a question about the streaming from Cody. We're not doing this every day. We're just doing this on Tuesdays as a wrap-up show for Jimmy the Bag. But we could do it more. You know, we'll see how much if people like it or not. If people dig it, then we'll talk about doing more. I'd be happy to. I love hanging with you guys. I love doing live shows with you guys. We can do lots more of this coming up in the future. So Thoma says, yeah, I don't know how anyone could disagree with you regardless of who they supported. Trump and Clinton were night and day. You know what? We can talk about this more. It's a real polarizing subject. And, you know, it's a very difficult subject. Bottom line is NFL is very dislikable for the way they've handled it. I wish Kaepernick was in the league. So let's go. Thoughts on Jets under 3.5 wins, minus 180 on 5 dimes. Looks like easy money. I think you're onto something, man. I think how are they going to win 4 games? I think you're onto that, man. Adam Beck says, hi, Jimmy. What up, Adam? Oh, but Tomo says, don't tie your money up for 3 months at minus 180. That's a great point. You're just not going to get enough at minus 180, you know, unless you need to stash money from a girl, which happens to me at times. All right, man. Okay, so another thing is, before we leave, the bag got fucking killed. 2 and 3. What fucking place am I in? I'm in fucking 790th place, but if you count the zeros and zeros, I'm in 966th place. Laura says, good show, dude. Thank you so much for watching, Laura. All you guys, thank you for watching. We can't do it without you guys, so it means a lot that you care about watching. The Atlanta, Green Bay, Adrian says going to go over. You know what? It's a real tough call, and I didn't even say whether I thought it was going to go over or not. On most of them I did, but at this point I don't have an over-under call on it. I'm going to have to study the game more. I'm very excited about this matchup. 53 points, I don't know. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Rob says, Jimmy, that's in the past. We are now in the present. I dig it. I fucking dig it. Well, let's go over a few of the people who did not beat the fucking bag, shall we? Because there were some who were so fucking terrible that they didn't beat the bag. And I'd like to throw a few dicks in their mouths. Let's go. Now, I'm going to have to go down real low. I'm going to have to move a few pages over, man. How many pages do I have to get to? Fuck, I'm going to have to get – page 3 is not enough. Let's go to page 5. Are there some losers on page 5? There are. There are some losers on page 5. But let's go to the fucking 0-5 fucking write-offs, man. The 0-5 fucking write-offs. First off, in last place is Salapatko at 1-4. He even got a fucking win. He even got a win. 1-4, and he's minus 13.23. Let's talk about some of these losers. Big Daddy, 2-1, and you're down 9.93 units. JJ Cunning, 1-4, down 8.36 units. D-Walks 23, You're worse than the bag. The bag is fucking killing you. Lauren took it in the drink hole. Pinner's PSK took it in the drink hole. Panama Brad fucking sucks. Let's go over Panama Brad's picks. Let's do that. Panama Brad. 0-5. Let's see who he took. Nice to finally fucking beat somebody. Let's see. Well, he went 0-3 on Sunday. So he lost a Thursday nighter, lost a Monday nighter. He had Tennessee to beat Oakland, lost that. Arizona to beat Detroit, lost that. Oh, here we go. Panama Brad took Cincinnati to beat Baltimore. And they put up 0 fucking points. Panama Brad. Hope your throat hole is glistening. All right. Panama Brad. It is a pretty cool name, though, Panama Brad. We'll keep an eye on you, Panama Brad, because you didn't beat the bag. All right, you guys. Truly, thank you guys so much for watching this and being a part of this. And if you guys want more of this, hit like, let us know. We could do this more than once a week, but we can't do it without you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. Much love. Let's have a big fucking week, man. Let's make that cake. I'm about to make it with the fucking braids right now, and I need more of that shit. But truly, wish you guys the best. Get fucking capping, get studying. Milk these fucking bookies. Fatter pockets, hotter sleuths. You know how we do. Much love, you guys. Thanks for watching.